Hello, I'm Rupert Turton, and welcome to the Business Spotlight interview, where we talk to local business owners about their journey. Today, I'm joined by Matt Taylor, who's general manager at the Caravan company. So Matt, first of all, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Rupert.
No, it's great that you could make it today. So, firstly, I'm obviously a lot of it's given away in the name, but just explain what the Caravan company do.
So we're the largest retailer of pre-owned touring caravans in the country. We have a site here in Northamptonshire and in Dorset, and we've built up a business over many years with the expertise and the background to deliver quality caravans and the service to back it up.
Yeah, cool. So, an interesting market you're in as well. So what's the biggest challenge running I suppose it's a leisure business, isn't it? Selling caravans at the moment. What's the biggest challenge running a caravan business at the moment?
I think managing expectations, because you're right, it is a leisure market, and a caravan.
Ah,
The
hang on, Matt, we'll do that bit again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to pick it up from do you want me to ask the question again?
No, that's fine.
Okay, right. If you're ready, hang on, do the clap and give it count to three and then start. All right. Sorry.
So yeah, the caravan industry is certainly an interesting business. Managing people's expectations, whether it's staff, customers, suppliers, I think is the biggest challenge, because a caravan is a real luxury product. It's one of an item that a person doesn't necessarily need, but with the increased demand during and after COVID, it's certainly been interesting to try and make sure that we're delivering what we say we'll deliver, and working with our partners, whether it's suppliers such as Truma or PowerTouch, to making sure that we're trying to communicate with customers, and making sure that we're trying to do it in the right way. We all make mistakes, but the difference I think that we have is that we actively try and fix mistakes and try and overcome them, rather than just sitting behind a desk saying that there's nothing we can do. If there's a way to come around it, then we will. But it's, as I say, it's managing people's expectations. So we don't, the old kind of John Lewis thing of we don't want to oversell and underdeliver. We'd rather get it right.
Which implies that hiring staff must be quite a challenge, because you need people with not necessarily the knowledge of the business, although an interest, of course, will be important, but they've got to have the right attitude to deliver that sort of service.
I think you're right. Employing staff has been one of a big challenge for us over the years. We've taken the opportunity to train and develop young people with the mixture of experience as well, over the years, and that's where we've been successful. Your traditional kind of car salespeople, if there is a stereotype, doesn't really work in this industry. We're looking for people that can communicate, they can talk to people, they can understand and empathize, and the rest of it we can teach and develop. But yeah, the attitude towards the business is the most important thing, to make sure that the service is there.
Yeah, cool. So, what's been your biggest learning since you've been running the Caravan company?
I think from the point of view of COVID-19, I guess when you do these, people talk about it a lot. COVID was one of those things that obviously none of us knew anything about, but we were fortunate. Just one sec.
Is there a setting on it then, Matt?
Yeah, it's a WebEx thing. So I'm in a group thing. So I'm just going to turn mine to do not disturb, and then it won't happen again.
Oh, right. So somebody else is trying to get you.
Yes. So, right. That's now to the bit.
Right. So, yeah.
Get yourself all lined up. Same routine as last time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can bring the camera down a bit. We've got more sky than Matt at the moment.
How about that?
That's good. Ready to go? You just want to pick it up again?
Yeah.
Cool.
So the biggest challenge for us has been COVID-19. Like with every other business and organization, there wasn't a real roadmap of how to deal with it. there was a lot of apprehension around our business and businesses like it, because our business relies on cash flow and staff, and there were two things that were difficult at the time. One of the biggest challenges was communicating with the staff to make sure they had the peace of mind that they had jobs to return to after lockdown. But how you communicated, and we spoke in groups, we spoke individually, and we tried to utilize technology to the best of our ability, but also be pulling the strings in the background where we could to make sure the business was in a position to return successfully after the first lockdown. Because we actively went out, we invested in our website, we invested in the technology that we utilize. We were able to come back from the first lockdown and gain some significant sales from what we'd obviously lost. And that was really helpful. And because of the reputation that we'd had, the team that, were here at the time after COVID, we didn't have to lose anybody. In fact, when we came back, we invested and brought more people in. The team, especially after COVID, did incredibly well, considering the circumstances of the information that we could provide on today would have been different to what was then announced the next day. They came back, they delivered it incredibly well. And, it helped us build back after a very trying period.
It's interesting as well, isn't it? I mean, underpinning everything you've said about investing in the technology, making the right decisions for the business, that's completely underpinned by great communication with your team.
That's it. And that's the challenge. And some people wanted kind of video calls. Some people wanted to sit back a bit and just have the odd text, and you know what I mean, and those kind of bits. And it's just trying to recognize where the people that you've got with you, how you do it, how you communicate, and with the director down who looks after the Wimborne site, we'd have a catch up every Monday, for example, and we'd share all the information we got, and we then went out and we tried to communicate the best we could, and then, as I say, doing one-on-ones or group things, and when we brought everyone back and we got everyone in a safe and a COVID safe way, we invested quite obviously very heavily to make sure that, one, we kept the staff safe and comfortable, and obviously then we made the customer feel comfortable when they were able to come back in.
Yeah.
Because if we had the balance where everyone was comfortable to do business, we were going to be successful.
Yeah.
If there was an issue either side where someone didn't feel comfortable, that would have been a barrier. And touch wood, in the kind of two years that COVID was around, we had one individual who actually went down with it in the first period, where we could, and so we were successful to try and manage it and put in the mitigating factors to reduce the risk to staff, customers, and our suppliers.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's about taking proactive action.
That's it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So that's interesting. So going from there, then, what have you learned about yourself since you've been running the business?
I think the biggest thing that I've learned is how to delegate more, but on the basis of teaching the staff first what we expect, the processes, etc., but empowering the people around me that they can make decisions. If they can justify them for the business, then I don't need to be here to make every decision for them. I think when I first started in the business, I used to try and run around and please everybody and do everything and try and make every decision. And you can't do that. You need people around you that feel confident enough that they can make a decision that you can back. Don't get me wrong, that some decisions are right, some decisions are wrong, but I would rather have the staff morale, the ability that they can make a decision, and if we're right, we're right, if we're wrong, we're wrong. But I'd rather come into a situation and have it explained to me, I've done this because of that, and sometimes it's been right and sometimes it's been wrong, but it's only the same with me. I can't say I've made every decision in the correct way, but you need to empower people, I think, is the biggest thing I've learned, to be able to give them that opportunity and that bit to own that bit of the section that they work in, to develop, to understand. and go from there.
Okay. So what are the biggest opportunities for your industry in the next 5 years? And I think by that, when I say your industry, obviously leisure, but I mean mobile camping in all its various forms has really taken off in popularity over the last few years.
It really has, and there was an increased popularity due to the Brexit vote. Then COVID came along, and this industry hasn't seen as much interest for many, many years. The average age of a caravanner has gone down from the kind of 50 and 50 plus to young families who would normally go on to hotels abroad. So there's a lot more, and with the driving restrictions lifted, it opens up the roads for a lot more younger people to be able to go and enjoy caravan holidays. There's an education element to that because we work with a local towing instructor for people who have never towed before, but they've still got their license that's now been allowed for. We always put them on to the local guy, so they can learn and they can develop. So they've got that knowledge that they can do it without going on the road for the first time with no experience. But we have, I think, with those restrictions that have changed, I think with the new designs of caravans, the fact that they're effectively a home away from home, there are still some people who think there's gas lanterns and foot pumps and it's just a box on wheels. But it's an experience. My family, when me and my brother were younger, we used to go on caravan holidays with my parents, and it's the experience that you learn, it's the people that you meet, and all those bits. That lifestyle, I think, is becoming more popular. To counter that, though, the industry has to get to a level where when you order a part for a caravan or a motorhome, it can take a long time for it to come in. If you order a part for your car, it's effectively there the next day. And that investment in the infrastructure needs to be pushed forward, because that's where the expectation of the customer who's new to it can be let down, because an experienced caravaner, for example, knows they're going to wait 6 to 8 weeks for a part to arrive at times. But with a car, you would get it the next day. So it's two sides to it. That's the exciting thing in terms of more customers being able to experience the lifestyle and move on from there. But obviously, as I say, the exciting thing really for the industry, it needs to then push itself up and elevate itself.
Yeah, it's a really interesting point, isn't it? Because I suppose mentally people think of it, as you say, in the same way as a car, and they expect the same level of service, which the industry is just not set up for at the moment. So do you see it as a growth area and at the moment?
Without a doubt, and people like the Swift Group have been really advanced in terms of their support for dealers and the retail network, and the others are catching up, but it certainly needs more investment, and it needs all the suppliers, whether it's a manufacturer in terms of Swift, Bailey, whoever, but also the tertiary suppliers to the industry, to all work together. And there's got to be a better system going forward. So I can give you that, you order a part and I can tell you it's going to arrive. We all order things on Amazon because we know when it's going to arrive. It's the immediacy. And to be fair, businesses, I've learned over the years that I now give people the order confirmations so they can see we've done it, because otherwise you get people saying, well, you've not done what you said you had done, and we're explaining, no, we have. It's just it takes time. And it sounds amazing for a 6 to 8 week lead time. I mean, I'm still awaiting some windows to arrive from last February. So there are those odd bits, but as I say, for me, if the industry can invest in those bits, that would be handy.
So what are your aspirations then for the caravan company in the next 5 years?
Well, funnily enough, last year we won the Silver Award for customer service from Practical Caravan.
Oh, excellent.
And bearing in mind, we had last July the most catastrophic event that we've ever had in the caravan company. We had a fire here in Finedon.
Oh, no.
And so we've had a big problem, and we managed to rebuild, and we managed to carry on trying to deliver. The vision for the future is to push on, to elevate what we do, to be that superior, if that's the right word, caravan dealer that deals with people in the right way. Everybody offers best part exchange prices, this, that, the other. I think as a retail business, as customers are becoming younger, the working week isn't the same as it used to be. You know, not everybody works a traditional Monday to Friday. We've got to be able to adapt. We've got to be able to have the staffing levels to be able to do that. You know, and effectively long term here at Finedon, we've got a 4-bay workshop that's open Monday to Friday. We've got a shop that's only currently open 4 days a week, but is very successful. And we've got the sales open 7 days a week. And realistically, what we need to do long term in the next 5 years is have all of those things operational at 7 days a week, which gives then the better balance in terms of the work-life balance from the staff's point of view, which means that I'm going to get more people to stay in for longer. But obviously then we can make sure that we are delivering for customers in their different needs. You know, we developed a package that, you know, at some point hopefully we'll implement, that, you know, where a customer can buy a kind of a VIP package where, you know, if they've got warranty bits, we can send a driver to collect it from the storage site, take it back, sort it all out, because everyone's busy. You know, but it's been about able to adapt to the situation and what the customer requires, and that's where basically we've got to be.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds exciting then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say to anyone thinking of going into business for themselves?
It's an exciting thing. You know, I know what Andrew and Paul, the owners of the business, they started from nothing, and they built a successful business with the people around them over the years. And it's about enjoyment, isn't it? You know, you come in to do it, to run your own business, to run somebody's business, whichever way it is, but enjoy it, learn from it every day, and kind of don't give up. That's the important thing.
Yeah. I love this question. Ask it to everybody. Who is the first person that comes to mind when you think about success?
Funnily enough, a guy called Max Griggs, who in Northamptonshire and in the shoe industry is fairly well known. He was the chairman of Doc Martens and chairman of my football club, Rushden and Diamonds. And Max sadly passed away a few years ago. But the success that he developed within the football club and the business, but he was the most amiable person. He was very nice to talk to. He never shoved, you know, you would never know he was a multi-millionaire because it was not about the money. It was about building something, and what he built down at Nen Park. And whilst it's very sad it's not there, you know, in our successor in AFC Rushden and Diamonds, the traditions and the beliefs that he had are still a key part of what we do. And, you know, so yeah, success, I think it's not just about the monetary factor, it's about building infrastructure, you know, and having a purpose to deliver. So
actually, yeah, building something that outlasts the person who's building it.
It's the old thing, isn't it? You know, I was watching the Ricky Gervais program the other day where something, I can't remember the exact wording, but so I think one of the quotes was, society grows great when people sow the seeds of trees that they know they'll never sit under, kind of thing. So, you know, and that's what Max did. And I think that's you know, we had some success in a football club, you know, which was well documented. We had our issues. But, you know, as I say, those beliefs past the money and the infrastructure, it's about those beliefs that, you know, what you can do on a daily basis.
Brilliant. What a lovely way to finish as well. So, Matt, thanks for your time today. Great talking to you. If somebody wants to come and visit you at the Caravan Company, where do they need to come to?
So we're based on the main A6 in Finedon, Northamptonshire, less than 10 minutes from Rushden Lakes. The coffee machine's always on, so come and have a visit.
Excellent. Matt Taylor from the Caravan Company, great talking to you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.